Well, quickly, what is it? Quickly, quickly. A wise man like me doesn't have time for idle chatter. I mean, especially we have so much books to study. I mean, look at them. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Malachi. So much to know about him. What do you mean, him who? Him! Jesus. Who else would I be more interested in? He's the one. We saw his star. We saw him. You're not following me, are you? Oh well, I'll try to explain from the beginning, shall we? Let's start from the start. As you may know, I spend a great deal of time observing the stars. Now, it was back in the time when Akabaki was king. I've been comparing the scrolls of the Jewish prophets as well as our ancients, and I just knew something big was coming. There had been some curious activity in the heavens, and I just couldn't shake the feeling. But as I looked in my window, I saw a brand new star, and each night it grew until it was the biggest star in the sky. Why, it was bigger than Andromeda. It was bigger than Sirius. And for an astronomer, it was quite serious. Anyway, I just knew it was his star. So, in a heightened state of excitement, I rode into my Maserati and went to my colleague Itima's house. Funnily enough, I rode into him in his Maserati, right into my house. I said, Iti, my goodness, man, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And he said, of course I've seen it. You'd have to have a cataract in both eyes to miss it. He says, just like the prophet Isaiah said when he stated that, oh, where is it there? Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will be with child and bear a son, and she will call his name Emmanuel. And I said, so you've been reading about the Jews too. How about Micah, when he said, but as for you, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, too little to be among the clans of Judah. From you one will go forth, for me to be ruler in Israel. His goings forth from long ago, from the days of eternity. And of Balaam, when he says, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come forth from Jacob, and a scepter shall rise from Israel. This is it. So we grabbed our friend Larry, bundled up our charts and our maps, hit David Jones for some gifts worthy of a king, and we're off in search of our star. We went over hill and mountain, field and fountain, in search of our young star. That's actually quite catchy. I might write that down. Field and mountain. Okay, that's pretty good. So, it's reasonable to assume that a king would be born in a palace. Mainly because it was my assumption. So we went and we visited the resident monarch, a certain King Herod. But surprisingly, he was very ignorant of the affairs of his own kingdom, especially at an event such as this. So there was no help. So we bade him farewell. But as we took leave, Herod says, when you find him, please send word back so that I may worship him too. Something like that. Anyway, so we left. We're on our way to search for our star. Why, we went past a few palaces, past a few five-star hotels, even a nice golf resort. But the star just kept drawing us further and further until we reached our destination. A stable. A dirty, fragrant stable. Surely not a place worthy of a king or royalty. But that is where the star shone, and that's where we found him. The baby Jesus, Christ. Oh, if only you could have seen him. God incarnate, mighty counselor, Prince of Peace. As soon as we saw him, we fell down and worshipped him. I mean, what else could we do? We were in the presence of the Christ. We gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh, gifts only fit for a king. Now, later that night, my colleague received a dream, and an angel of the Lord had visited him and said to avoid Herod. He was up to no good. So, we went a different way. Oh, but what a privilege. We had discovered, or found, should I say, the Messiah. Out of all the discoveries, inventions, and philosophies of man, we had found the Messiah, the greatest discovery. Now, as you may know, people might say that I am wise, and that may be true, but you be wise to seek the Christ. He is not far, he is alive, and he is available. If you seek him, you would find him. I did. You can. Now, I'm sorry, but I must get back to my study. There's just so much to know about Jesus Christ.